All right, y'all. We are officially live. It is Thursday, so you guys know what time it is. You are in the place to be, and this is the Locker Room Show. This is where we cover the trending topics that go down in the football industry. We always have an amazing guest on with us that's going to give you some game and also share some stories and some tips and advice that's going to help you get to the next level. So tonight is a very, very special show. We got a good one lined up, and I got my host with the most with me, the one that always holds me down in the locker room, in the trenches. That's none other than Q, the guru. What's going on, superstar?
What's going on, Coach? How you feeling this week, man? We got my dog on here. Well, we about to get it in. Man,
I know. And a lot of people are excited about tonight. Matter of fact, I'm gonna switch you up. You guys know we live. We like to have our guest in the middle, so I'm gonna switch you up real quick, Q.
Perfect.
All right, and then we got our special guest in the middle. As always, you guys, we bring in somebody that knows what they're talking about, somebody that can really help you get to the next level. Nobody just giving their opinion, somebody that's played the game. But now this gentleman has kicked off and transitioned into an acting career, and it's taken off, y'all. The gentleman that you see in the middle of the screen is none other than Mr. Isaac Keys. You've seen him in The Oath. You've seen him in Jurassic World. Now as Diamond and Power Book 4. Thank you for coming on, man, and we appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, man. It's been a long time coming. I've been hearing about the Locker Room Show for many of months. So my boy Quincy, man, and it's just good to be here, man, live on the couch, bro. I'm excited.
There you go. Live on the couch, and he's spending some time with us, you guys. So many of you guys don't know that this man was one hell of a football player, and actually HBCU background, played for the Arizona Cardinals, the Vikings, and also the Packers, my grandfather's Packers. Now, like I said, doing amazing things on the TV series Power, and people are just really catching on to this young brother. So we appreciate his time, and we're going to get right into it. If you guys have not been with us for the 54 some odd weeks that we've been shooting this show, you guys know we get into the things that matter to you, the trending topics and things that are going to get you to the next level. So first and foremost, we got the perfect guest, you guys. We've been talking a lot about HBCUs, Isaac. And many people don't know that you attended an HBCU. You went to Morehouse, had a great career there. You know, a lot of kids, especially on the West Coast, have no idea what an HBCU can offer. So can you give our audience a little insight, man, to your experience, and if you think it's a good route for young men to take a look at?
Right, man, that's a great question. And, you know, to combat what you said, a lot of kids on the West Coast, I mean, they don't, but a lot of kids do on the West Coast. You know, some of my closest friends are from the West Coast. And I think tying that into the HBCU, where you mentioned I went to Morehouse College, which is a historical HBCU, you know, started in 1867. Martin Luther King went there, you know, Benjamin Mays was there, was one of the presidents there. And then, you know, Samuel Jackson, a lot of artists that people they knew. Young kids know Metro Boomin. He came out of the HBCU, you know, out of HBCU, out down in Atlanta University Center. And I think what's most important is that, man, it's a sense of community. It's something like I talk to friends, even Quincy. I talked to my partners that went to Kansas State, to other D1 schools. And if you were comparing those two, is that I still have a Morehouse mom. Like, I have a Morehouse mom. The athletic director is still a close friend. Coaches that are still friends. We still have, you know, we all have like group chats. With group chats, we started a Morehouse Football Alumni Association to help give money back strictly to the athletic program. And it became a sense of community, a sense of family. And I think that's, you know, if that's what you're needing, if you're needing that close knit and that connection, and to feel like you've been around other people that are striving to do, that look like you, that are striving to be better in their lives. And I'm telling you, it comes from all different walks of life. I got cats that come straight out of Crenshaw, you know what I'm saying? They come straight out of the hood. I'm coming, you know what I'm saying, coming out of different cities. And you got people that come, you know, mainly, you know, speaking that came from a better life. But they're all coming together and all striving for a common goal. Anytime you have that, I think that puts you in a great situation. And, you know, HBCUs are prominent in that. but they also deal with their issues. They deal with their issues of adversity. But one thing we all know about, and that's locker room talk, is when you got to go out and run them sprints or lift them weights with or wake up at 6 o'clock morning workout, what did it do? It brought you closer. It brought you closer to your teammates.
Nice.
So part of HBCU, some of the adversities bring me closer. There's still stories that we talk about to this day about registration, about not having a washing machine working when we were during tour days in football, and all we can do is just dry the phone and then put it back on. Now I'm not saying those are good things, but those things about adversity that do on the brighter side bring you closer together. So HBCU, man, I think it's a walk of life, and I think it's when you really try to learn yourself as college, you're trying to learn yourself, you have to look at HBCUs. It's definitely an option, and look at what you need. What are your needs? You know what I'm saying, compared to every school, and I think that's what's important.
So looking back, Isaac, would you do it all over again if you had the opportunity?
As I stated, my situation led me to a HBCU. I was not recruited highly out of high school. I was played out of position as a senior, play offensive line. We still joke about that to this day. I went and played linebacker and play offensive line at 195 pounds. And I had to make a decision at that point of my senior year in high school. Is that, okay, do I want to continue playing football? And like my father always told me, he said, I don't care if you working at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, be the best worker there they could possibly be. So I made a decision to be the best center on the offensive line that I possibly could be. And I did that. I still made all conferences, in a powerhouse conference. Of course, all conferences playing center. But did I want to play that? No. But it led me to a situation where I wasn't recruited, but all my friends were going to play D1 ball or playing football somewhere. Right. And I knew in my heart I wanted to play. And I got the opportunity to play at Morehouse College. I walked on and I earned my scholarship. I earned everything about that. And I just grew into myself. I grew mentally and physically. Probably about 3 inches and another 45 pounds.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I made a way out of no way, as I like to call it. And I made something out of something, out of nothing.
I love it.
Yeah, so I guess that's your question is like, it depends on your situation, what you have, what you have going on. It's also legacy. A lot of people go to HBCUs because their family went there and because they want to continue the legacy and they want to be, want to continue their pride. It's a pride thing. And I say that's like, people look at it, it's like, no, even going to, the hottest topic, Jackson State facilities don't compare to Colorado's. Yeah. Morehouse is definitely don't compare to some high schools, but at the same time, we work for it. We work and try to make it build it up. Right. But I mean, HBCUs don't get the same funding, don't have the same boosters, don't have the same scholarships, they're already put behind the 8 ball, just like the Black community already anyway. It's that we have to continue to work on. So when you want pride to work and help build something, HBCU can be calling your name, man. You can find a home there.
Right. I love it. And for you young athletes listening, some of you guys are considering HBCU, so you're getting it firsthand right here from Isaac that it's something that is about community, pride, and it's a hell of an opportunity. So you guys will be continuing to talk about that. And on to our next topic, and definitely excited to hear you guys' opinions about this. This is the young Ohio State star, Jackson Njigba, and hell of a wide receiver. Unfortunately got hurt early in the season, and it was looking like they were prepping him for the playoff run to try to win a national championship and take it all the way. And now they're in the mix to do that, but Jackson say he don't want no part of it. And usually this is a dynamic I think we first seen with Christian McCaffrey back in the day with Stanford, but Stanford was playing in a small bowl. This man has a chance to get a ring. His teammates want to get a ring. So I want to get your opinion, Q. If you in the Kansas locker room and you this close from winning it all, and your boy, who is a key piece, says, hey, good luck, brother, I'm going to the league. What's your feelings on that?
I mean, we got to understand it's one of the reasons that we're here and we explain to these young athletes, this is pure business. And it's the same thing, I don't know if they had a chance to meet, but, that's what happened to Jamison Williams, that came out of St. Louis, the first receiver, I believe, off the board with Alabama. Mm-hmm. But, towards ACL bowl game, trying to get the ship. So it's one of those things where it's not anything that you're going to encourage from a teammate. But if you're talking about, okay, that's my dog, I already know that he's going to be high off the board, for sure next season, you have to make, just like I said, you have to make a business decision, man. It's always gonna come a point in time. If you're trying to play this game, you have to make a major business decision, and they get to the ship, he tears an ACL. Well, how much money is he and his family gonna lose off of that? Ohio State's gonna be just fine, but what's gonna happen to him? So that's an executive decision that, your teammates are going to have to respect. And, the coaches are going to have to respect that as well.
Talk to me, Isaac. I mean, obviously, you've been in these locker rooms, man,
Yeah.
and we need our teammates, and we know who the dogs are and who aren't. Is there a line between, or a code as far as, hey, yeah, small ball game, you don't got to play, but we trying to be special, you should play.
I think we know the locker room is sacred ground. What happens in the locker room is supposed to stay in the locker room. You know what I mean? That's where it's sacred ground. A lot of things happen in the locker room. There's a lot of conversations, there's fights and things that happen in the locker room, all type of things, but it's supposed to stay in the locker room. I think what we're seeing is the evolution of college football. Because if you take it back years, back to saying back when the U was big, or even take it back to when we was in school and in Kansas, it wasn't as much of a business. It was like, to me, the locker room was like, no, I'm looking at you. We doing everything we can to win. We're not even thinking so far ahead. The NFL, we think about it, but it's not to the point where we're like, nah, I'm gonna sit out this game, or I'm gonna hold back this because I'm gonna go to the league. It wasn't like that. But I feel like as we move to this generation now, how we dealing with, we seeing how the maturation of college football, how it has become more of a business, then that decision starts to come about. But what's happened is that we're leaving out, even in this question, is that the kid has been hurt with a hamstring injury. He's been hammered with a hamstring injury the whole year. So for him to make this decision is a lot different. The players have been playing without him for majority of that season. Right. So him to come back to play now and then hurt it before his draft day or before his pro day, then I'm okay. Sit out, bro. We've been playing without you anyway. No love lost, but we got to get the people that can step up. And the benefit of those schools is they're 3-4 deep. If anything, with talent, with guys that can actually play. So the next man up, let's go.
Right.
Now, if you down here at Morehouse and I only got one deep now, like, hey, bro, look, we got opportunity to change a lifetime. So, I mean, hey, we either going to fight right now in the locker room or we're going to get out there on the field and we're going to fight. So, it's going to be one of the two. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it is. So, there's a difference. And again, you just weighing in all your options. But I think the media is drawing it out because it's a media thing. But we had to realize that kid has been hurt. He's been hurt for a minute, and now he's trying to get out, make a life for himself outside of football. So I declare that I'm not upset at the kid, but just weighing all the options.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point right there. And he has been hurt. I think he got hurt at the end of last season too.
Yeah, so, and a hamstring is tricky, man. You can think it's healed as soon as you go out there and run and do one thing.
See?
Coming back.
Tell him what you I'm telling you.
Money. Yep. No, that's a great point. So you guys keep that in mind. And this gentleman had to make a business decision, and we're all entitled to that. So we are on to our next topic, and definitely glad you guys that we got our guest on tonight, because sometimes you're working towards something, but then when you get it, your life changes, and few people really experience that. And recently, you guys, many people didn't get a chance to hear about this story, but over the fall season, young lady, Bella Rasmussen, was balling out. She's the first girl to have 2 touchdowns in a football game, a high school football game. And she's parlayed that, you guys, into some NIL deals, and is now getting national coverage. She signed an NIL deal with a mental health app, I believe. But now young Bella is getting national coverage for what she's doing on the football field. And things are changing, you guys, for her overnight. So I want to ask you, Isaac, because obviously you've been cracking away and doing your thing as an actor, and then you get a break and things change. What's your advice? Because we got a lot of athletes that are about to go off to college, Power 5 schools. What's your advice for these kids when one of them just strikes gold and things change?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, first off, anybody know Ike Keys? I don't count nobody money, and I don't want nobody counting mine. So congratulations to that young lady, striking something that can help change her life and her family's career life as well. I think with this, that's great. It's great to see a woman be able to overcome some of those things in the obstacles, especially in a sport that's driven by men and masculinity. So it's good. I'm sure she feel happy and her family's happy too, and I commend her on that. But due to your question, is that I feel like the first thing when money comes into play, things change. As in more money, more problems. But having money is better than not having money. We all know that too. So with that being said, I'm so big right now on financial literacy. Right now, they are throwing money at these kids in college, and some of these kids in college never had money. And guess what? They never had money. That means their parents never had money. So that means their parents don't even have financial literacy. So right now, what I'm saying is that stop throwing all this money to people that don't know how to use money, because now they ain't gonna have the money for long. So let's put a financial literacy course in that they have to pass or take in order to be able to receive some of this money. I don't care if it's an online course or something like that, just simple stuff as bank accounts and also taxes. They're getting paid this money. Some people don't know nothing about taxes. And later on, they're going to be dealing with taxes later on because that money gets taxed. Or they, thinking like that. So I'm just like, it starts with literacy. And all these kids are becoming millionaires at 18 years old and still on the football field. Why would I want to stay and play football anymore? I don't even know if I would have the same passion. Because one thing we know is when we grew, we played because we was broke. Right. We wanted something better. You know what I mean? Yeah, when you get to the NFL, you playing, you still can do it. I understand that. But college was different. Part of that being broke built character.
Right. Character. No, really.
You let $20 stress for a whole week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, pizza money.
Character. But we also learn how to protect our money. If I have a lot of money, then I'm just spending it. I'm spending it and doing whatever thing. So I believe financial literacy is my first step with that. The next thing is that, man, you got to realize, who your circle is. You really connect with who the people are riding with you, because everybody can't go with you, and everybody's not going to want to see you succeed. So with that being said, pay attention to your circle, but learn more things about yourself. Use all these different things to do research and books on self-help, on how to learn more about you. Now, yes, life is going to mature you in a way that no book could ever do. But at the same time, when you get this notoriety, you have to understand what that notoriety is. That doesn't mean everybody's with you. Somebody just wants to hold on to you and absorb your energy. They just want to be around you so I can go into the party. I want to be around you so I can get in there. So like those things, so as long as you know what that is, then you know how to use it and know how to cater to it in a way that you need to do to help move.
Did that come to you naturally, being able to decipher who was right?
Not life did that, but I think, right now, being in the acting world, I'm in my second phase. Unfortunately, I've been able to live two dreams right now. Making it to the NFL is my first. The second is being able to be on TV and do something I love that I'm very passionate about. So with that being said, that part of it helped, learning through, NFL. Now I'm in my 40s. So now it's like I understand who's with me and who ain't. Because I also had that down point in between football and before acting, where I hit a rock bottom, where I still saw who was with me and who wasn't. So now coming up, I just know I have a better filter. And I said, they use all these filters on Instagram and everything else. You got to have a filter in life. You got to have a filter in life that you know how to use to be able to, navigate on what's real and what ain't. And, give yourself some grace. You're going to mess up. Everything ain't going to be perfect all the damn time. You're going to mess up, but give yourself some grace, and it's how fast you can learn from it. Same way in a football field. The person that learns the fast is the one that's going to get out there on the field. So as fast as you can learn and make the adjustments is the best, best thing.
Same rules apply, right?
Yes.
There you go. So hey, you guys, don't be worried about falling, but you got to make those adjustments. You got to bring it back. There you go. So you guys are getting it right here in the locker room. Isaac Keys, he's giving you his heart. He's giving you his advice and telling you what you need to do. We're on to our next topic, you guys, and this one is hot off the press, especially with the West Coast. A lot of you kids, UCLA is chunking the deuce, you guys. They say we are out of the Pac-12. We're going through all the loopholes we got to go through, and they have officially been approved to leave the Pac-12 and go to the Big Ten. Now, there's some financial stipulations and some politics involved, because this UC thing is really tied to also Cal Berkeley. So they have to pay Cal some money. But I wanted to look at it from another angle. And Q, I'll start with you. If you're a West Coast prospect, does playing games in Penn State, Rutgers, does that bother you? Or is it still the UCLA Bruins in Pasadena? Or are you saying, hey, do you think it's going to hurt their recruiting?
I mean, I think the recruiting is for UCLA. The recruiting is going to get a lot more treacherous. I mean, because now you're recruiting up against Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa, so it's gonna get a lot more difficult. But as a player with UCLA, you gotta welcome it, man. It's like so many other, guests, that we've interviewed as well, man. You gotta be where the dogs at, man. You want to go up against the best that this country has to offer. So if you're moving to a stronger conference, that's what you came to play ball for. That's exactly what you came for, man. So that's definitely a good thing. Now, granted, you have to take some longer flights on away games for a lot of times, but man, that's what this game is about, man. It's about, man, you got to strap it up and see where you're at against the best in America.
Talk to me, Isaac. Is this where, we recently said it's a new day and age. It's a new ball game, and there's a lot of spades being played and different things being pulled out of people's back pocket. If you're currently an athlete on the team and you were thinking I'm in the Pac-12, and now all of a sudden we're in the Big Ten, is that something that you think would be an issue with you?
I don't think it's any issue for the players at all. I mean, it's big money games. You know what I mean?
Right.
Who don't want to go play in Big Blue, play in the stadium of Michigan, or play against Michigan State? It's like, those games are big. And I just think it's UCLA and USC is going too. So I'm more curious about what the Pac-12 is going to do. That's what I'm more curious about. But as you
point,
city to any recruit. You know what I mean? You coming out, now I can go recruit in Michigan, and I go recruit for East, and I say, hey, come all the way out to the West Coast and get some of these palm trees and some of this diversity. Some of these different things in a big city. Your brand can become bigger. You got a clothing line while you're in college? Oh, okay. Well, let's maturate that out here in LA. So it's like, I think it's more attractive to a lot of players for recruits to come out here to this prestigious school, USC and UCLA. And UCLA had to do it. Because USC is going to do it. Those are two, combative schools right there on the West Coast. So I think it was actually a big money move and a big power play. And I think I'm very curious to see how it happens. And then I think the fans out here are excited to see, like, that's going to be like a championship, Rose Bowl championship game every week for some of these schools.
That is true.
So,
I
think it's going to be good. It's a big play, but I'm curious about how it's going to play out, with the Pac-12.
That's a great point right there. And you guys, especially you young athletes, this is a money business, and the cards are on the table. Back in our day, they were keeping them under the table. Now they're on the table, and they're letting you know that this is big business and this is money. So you guys need to partake and pay attention. We are on to our next topic. And once again, we have the great Isaac Keys. This is a former football player. This is an HBCU alum. This is somebody that has graced us with his time and now doing big things in the acting world. And we're praying for much more success for Isaac. So we have him for a little bit more time. I see some people chiming in that love power. So thank you for joining us. We are on to our next topic, you guys, and this is tips, Isaac. Tips for aspiring actors. We're not just one-trick ponies. A lot of times they think that football players can only do one thing, but obviously you're proving them wrong. What are some of the things that have helped you transition that you took from the game to your transition to acting? And then also, next step, what are a couple tips that you could give a young man that's wanting to do the same thing?
Yeah, I think, they both kind of go hand in hand. One thing I learned in the locker room, man, is as we talk here, is that keep your eyes and ears wide open. If you come in as somebody new, as a rookie or a freshman or whatever, you don't know what's going on. So your best thing is to sit back and observe first. Don't just jump out there in the fire like you know everything, because you'll get hit over your head over and over again. You know what I mean? And people are like, who is this young cat that's trying to jump in the game? So the best thing I like to do is try to observe. I was always learning to keep my eyes and ears open. And from there, I learned. And then also it kind of allowed people to see, like, okay, the quietest person in the room, like, I'm curious about him. And then sometimes you'll get somebody to take you under their wing and be like, oh, okay, this is how we do it. I'm gonna take you like this and like this. And then you show your work ethic. And when you show your work ethic in anything, I think that's when it can never be denounced. Nobody can ever deny your work ethic when you show passion about what you're doing and wanting to get it right. So with that being said, that helped me in the game in the locker room. I took that right on over to acting. I didn't know what the hell was going on in acting. I saw some other actors. I saw the attention they were getting. I saw how they were moving, and like, oh, I see them on TV. I'm like, wow, that looks fun. That looks exciting. And I didn't know what the hell. And I was like, I didn't know what the hell I was getting ready to do in my life. I was coming to the end of my football career. I didn't know what the hell I was getting ready to do. I'm trying all kinds of different jobs. And I'm like, this ain't feeling right. And the one thing we know about when we leave something, I don't even say sports, when you leave something that you've been doing for 17 to 30 years, you don't know what the hell else you are passionate about anymore. And that's where the mental anxiety, mental depression, all those different things come into play, because you don't feel fulfilled anymore by what you did before. And so now you're trying different things and you still feel unfulfilled. You're like, I don't know what to do. My tank is half empty right now. So as you start to find something that you're passionate about, it naturally pulls you in that direction. And now you want to learn more about it. So I saw acting. I was like, wow, that looks cool, but I don't know much about it. Okay, so I can get acting classes. Okay, when I'm in acting classes, wow, this is different. How do you know it's lying so fast? I don't know. I'm still looking at my paper. Like, how do you do that? So now I had to learn that, look, it's muscle memory. So it's not that he's been doing it for a while. I just started. So I had to learn that part. I had to learn how to, reading different acting books, taking classes, and then learning to let go of your inhibitions, but all the steps that go into it. People like, and I just naturally was comfortable in front of the camera. That was just a gift that, was given to me. I don't know why or whatever, but the camera didn't scare me. So now it's just learning, how can I find my truth in front of the camera? So with that being said, just like you hire a trainer for your kids in sports, well, you got to hire an acting coach for your kid or whomever else, or for yourself. And for me as an adult, so I could learn and be surrounded by it. So now I know how actors move. I know how, you got a manager? Oh, okay, well, who is it? Like that. So now I'm asking questions with the manager. So now I'm getting tapped in with managers and agents. Oh, well, you don't need that person right now. And people think as soon as you go into it, it's like, oh, I need to get this agent, this big old agent. He's going to get me a job. That's not what you need to do. What you need to do is find somebody that will work for you at the level that you are at that present moment. And as you succeed and become more, you go from co-stars and like that to guest star roles, and you'll find another agent that helps you on that area. Then you realize, I'm not doing no more co-star roles. I'm doing series regulars or guest stars. You find an agent at that point. Don't try to find something big that's going to put you on the shelf. Find someone who's going to work for you at the level that you're on at the moment. And then
similar
you
to football.
Yeah, same way with football. I came out of Morehouse. It took me forever to find an agent. Like I went like what I'm saying? But then found one. All I could find is what was working for me at that moment. I wasn't gonna get that big agent, what I'm saying? So I say that, and I think that the tidbits that I took away from it is perseverance, resiliency, and a work ethic, a strong work ethic. Was those three things that were mainly that kept me into it, because I heard no's without even hearing the word no. So that means that's the amount of, and I've heard a lot of no's. So therefore, you have to have a resiliency of knowing, and you don't get the gratification of going in a room like, oh my God, you killed it. That was amazing. Not like when you score a touchdown and it's like, oh, everybody's cheering your name on ESPN or whatever else. No, it's like, okay, thank you for coming by. So, who's next? Like, that's you still standing like this, like, can I do something else? No, it's good. Thank you. And you just leave and you just wait for a call. I'm in the car saying my lines. I'm walking to the car still saying the line. The audition's been over with for an hour. I'm still like, well, I could have said it like this and said it like that. And one of the biggest things somebody told me in acting was like, take those sides, which are the lines that you did for your audition, throw them in the trash can. It's over. You did what you could do, whatever you do. So leave it in the room. Go in the room, learn to, that room is for you, and that is your time. So that comes from repetition, confidence, and knowing to be in that space. Take that time to do what you're going to do. And after you did it, throw it away, because every role is not for you. And what's for you is for you. And that's what you have to learn to be able to get over time.
Man. So in addition to what he's saying, kids, you young players out here, is you still have to perfect your craft, whether it's football or otherwise. It's the same thing Ronnie Lott said a few shows ago. It's about perfecting your craft. That's always going to be the case.
And I played Ronnie Lott's stunt double in a Skechers commercial, and you can see it. Like, I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. Years ago, it was one of my first commercials, stunt double for Ronnie Lott. Had me jumping over a rail and everything.
There you go, tackling somebody. No, that is big time advice, man. And I know you young men, you young ladies, whoever's watching this, whether it's live or recorded, you felt that right there, because this is a gentleman that has been through highs and lows, you guys. This ain't been a red carpet treatment the whole time, so he's giving it to you raw and he's giving it to you real. And that's actually what we do in our next segment, which you guys know is the lightning round. The lightning round is where it goes down, and we are through our version of word association, y'all. So Mr. Isaac Keys has 60 seconds to tell us the first thing that comes to his mind when I rattle off some of these people, some of these what's your favorite. And I rattle it off. He got to tell us the first thing unfiltered that
all
was
improv, big dog.
This is improv, so
All
I know he's gonna kill it. I know he's gonna kill it, and we live. So we're gonna keep it PG-13. We're not going power on y'all tonight.
I'm glad you said that. My mind works in rated R. So okay.
Yeah, Tommy ain't in the locker room tonight. But we gonna give it to you raw and live. So let me get my list out, and I think I got a pretty good list. Now, we don't do this just for fun, Isaac. We actually put down a little reward for it. And you got 60 seconds. Now, if you can get 13 or more, 13 is your number. We got a little dinner and a hotel stay on us. Now, it ain't 50 cent money. I ain't got no 50 cent money, but I got you covered. Yeah. There you go. So let's get started. And our people always love this, the lightning round. So I'm going to get my stopwatch ready, y'all. And we're going to put Mr. Isaac Keys through the lightning round. So we're at 0 because I've been accused of cheating in the past. Now Michael Bishop, a few people looking for me. But we're going to get started. So you ready to go, big dog?
Yeah, first word to come to mind, right? Okay, so shit.
First word to come to your mind.
Lock in.
All right. Number 1. Hazelwood Central. Go.
Oh, the mecca of football in St. Louis.
Dennis Green.
Oh, a guide to me in football. Savior.
Favorite cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Adrian Peterson.
A swole safety.
Steak or lobster.
Oh, steak.
Ezekiel Elliott.
St. Louis running back.
Deion Sanders.
Colorado.
Thai or Chinese food?
Thai.
Cheesecake or pound cake?
Cheesecake.
Ray Rice.
Man, smack of violence.
Morehouse.
The house.
50 Cent, 55 seconds.
Boss.
Tom Brady. Time.
Go.
Time.
I gotta start saying more. I gotta say one word. I be wanting to say phrases. I gotta put one word.
That's good though. That's good. That's how you move.
You said Adrian Peterson. I don't know why I was thinking Adrian Wilson. That's why I said a swole safety because I was like,
oh, okay. Yeah, so you got people in here laughing. So let's get back to our list here. So he was cooking. You guys are numbers 13, and we had a couple people actually tie that. So let's see how many we got. Let's count them up, and then we're gonna revisit. So number 1, Hazelwood Central. 1, we got Dennis Green. 2, we got Adrian Peterson. 3, we got favorite cereal. 4, Thai Chinese. 5, cheesecake. 6, pound cake. Deion Sanders. 7, Ray Rice. 8, steak or lobster. 9, Ezekiel Elliott. 10, 50 Cent. 11, Morehouse. 12, and we actually give 1 for tech delay. We always give 1 for tech delay. So 13, he tied the number, and we got 3 people at 13, actually.
Right.
We got Dustin Woods.
You gotta read them faster.
Yeah, okay. So
read them faster, Coach.
I got more people coming after me.
Now you right. Now you got Ike and Bishop come, man, boy.
The wrong people.
7 gonna get you, boy.
So 13, we're gonna have to have you back, brother. We got 3 people at 13. We're gonna have to have a showdown later on down the road. I got the wrong people looking for me, y'all. So and then Tom Brady, he said the GOAT. So that was a good list. Now let's revisit a little bit. He went with the Thai over the Chinese. He said Cinnamon Toast Crunch, huh? You go with the Cinnamon Toast?
I'm hurt about that. That's how
favorite.
you know you've been in LA too long. See, y'all don't understand. See, those of you that are not from St. Louis, we got this thing about Chinese
we sure
food.
do.
I know you've been in LA too long to say Tom and Chinese. I'm hurt. My heart is hurt.
You should be hurt. I'm low key hurt too, but I haven't had it. I haven't been back and had it in so long. There's the time food right around the corner.
And they be calling my name. He got his spot, Q. He got his spot.
They know my name over there.
And then he said, Dennis Green. You said a savior for you, huh?
Yeah, man. Dennis Green was he was going to give my first job, man. I signed with the Minnesota Vikings a month after the draft, so I didn't get picked up as a free agent right after the draft. I didn't know what I was getting ready to do. And my Morehouse mom said, keep working out, boy. He said, boy, you better keep working out. And I was like, all right. And I'm getting ready to graduate from college. And I was like, man, I was at a place in limbo. She said, keep working out. I did. The Minnesota Vikings, who scout was looking for me, looked at me before and thought he was going to pick me up in the late rounds of free agent, but they filled the roster without him. He came back. He said he's going to do everything he could do. And he stayed to his word. May he rest in peace. He passed away, Roger Jackson. And then he called me a month later, the linebacker coach on. And he said, hey, Keith, we're going to bring you in for a workout. And the coach got on. He said, you can pack a big bag or a small bag. I always tell the story. And I told him, I said, I'm going to pack the biggest bag I got. And I came out there, did a workout, and Diddy Green walked out there with his high socks on. And I came out there, and he said, Keith, we're going to sign you to a free agent contract. And I held it together as long as I could till I got to the hotel room, called mama and daddy, got both on the phone. And it wasn't nothing but a slip and slide water park, baby. I was crying all on the phone.
I know you was, man.
Yeah, so that was it. I want to share something. I know you may have another round, but I'm taking it. But I want to let people know how far back me and Quincy Rowe go back, and I'm so glad to see him doing the show with you, Coach Wood. But me and Quincy, we share stories all the way back to where we were playing soccer together, and I want to get us to these kids. Sometimes we look at things like that, but kids, sometimes you're going to be the minority on the sport, and ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, as we look at black kids and today, you know, like there's sometimes when it was baseball. Or whether it was soccer. And now Quincy playing soccer, he was good. I was playing soccer because I was overweight and couldn't make the football team. And he wasn't playing football yet. So I played soccer for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But with him. So that let you know back then, a husky kid. But Quincy and then the other partner, Jason Kelly. And we would be out there as the only 3 brothers on a team full of, you know, other kids, you know what I'm saying, from different races. And a sport that's not really known for our race. And I just want to let kids know to commend you that just because you're minority doesn't mean that you can't stand out and be good. Because sometimes other races don't understand what it's like to be a minority and have to be faced with some of those adversity and those obligations. But we stuck together and we played, and we had the best time of our lives. And it was one of the pivotal points of our lives, that just learning how to play a sport that is not known for us as a community. And I just want to say that
football too.
Exactly, And we played against our football. But
Ocho Cinco and a bunch of guys. We talked about it. Odell Beckham, soccer.
Yeah, Ocho too. Yeah, man. Absolutely. But man, Ike, I'm proud of you, man. I watched your whole career, bro, and I didn't see you grinding and just, man, continue, man. Marvel gonna call you. Watch.
Hey, man.
Marvel and DC gonna call. Hey, mark my word, y'all. Hey, mark my word. On this date, this show, watch what I tell you.
Your mouth the guys is, bro. I'm ready for it, man.
I promise.
I just like to see us all winning in a way, man. And he knows we come from a broad group of good people, of brothers that we still are friends to this day, and we still all root each other on, man. Now we're rooting our kids on, so it's an amazing thing, man. I just want you to know that community is great.
Yeah, no, I can tell. I played with Portland Johnson and a few you St. Louis cats are definitely tight. We don't want to keep you long, but we're to our last section of the show. Obviously, you guys can tell that this is live, this is love, this is community, and Ike has blessed us tonight to really share his truth with us. So we appreciate that. So for the last section, and if you guys have any questions, throw them in the comments section real quick. Q, if you got something in your back pocket, keep us posted. But I got one for you. Okay, great. I got one for you, Isaac, because we all played football. We played at a pretty high level, and there's times, and some of these young men that are going to be watching this show, where you feel like that audition, everything's on the line. Mm-hmm. It's the culmination of a bunch of work. You mentioned working out to try to get the Vikings opportunity. The Force, Power Book 4 opportunity. There's a lot of work that goes into that moment, that one moment where this is my shot. If I hit this, we're going to be all right. How do you calm yourself, whether it was your first NFL game or whether it was landing the role? How do you calm yourself in those moments where they're big?
Well, the first thing, man, is the process. The process gives you the tools to be able to calm. I mean, the first audition, I sucked. I was nervous, and I didn't know what I was necessarily doing. And of course, when I left, I was a little upset at myself. I was kind of down on myself, and I had to pick myself up the same way I would pick myself up in football. And I think, like sometimes even in football, like every game I was nervous. I had to get that first hit, that first hit out and be like, okay, we settle it down. called ground yourself, as you said. To this day, I still get nervous going to sometimes auditions or going into the stage before we shoot the scene. But what has helped me, man, is not only is the process of just knowing I've done it over and over again, and then, but it's learning yourself. And I said it earlier in a sense, it's learning that what takes to ground me. I learned a technique of counting down from 5 because you count down out loud, that it helps you bring up. Better than counting up because that brings up. But count down, I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a bow out, and it just grounds me into the moment. The other thing is actually look around. Like look around and take in your surroundings. Take in the moment and take in everything that's going on. It's like, you know what? I got this.
Yeah.
It's amazing how saying things to yourself out loud or saying things. I learned one thing is like, I release the nervousness. I release the anxiety. I release any, self-sabotaging right now. I release it. Saying it out loud. Those things help because it's the power of the mind. And those things is always, I've learned those things over time. But before, I don't like anybody's like, everybody gets nervous. It's okay. It's just once they're in it, they're in it. It's like, if you make a play, you're like, I don't know how I made that play. I'm just in it. You know what I'm saying? Once you're in it, you're in it. You're like, and that's the way you want to be. You want to get to that place where you're so grounded in it. You don't even know what's going on. You're just reacting. You reacting and you going. Yeah. So, but that comes from the preparation too. A lot of times we're more nervous because we're not prepared and we don't necessarily know what's going on. But when you go in and you prepared and then you're able to react, that's when you bring the best out of you. So going to auditions, prepare as much as you can, and then also to have the confidence within yourself that I can adapt and react to anything that you throw at me. Because confidence is convincing, man. You know how you look at a guy, look at a player, you look at him, all right, son, I want you to go out there. You're gonna be. He's looking at you like, okay, he's not confident. So he's like, how can I believe in him? So I need to play like, all right, coach, I got it. And go. Like, I'm going to believe in that kid, whether he know it or not. He knew how to play the game. He knew how to show how confident he was. He go out there and mess all up. But it's like,
I'm going to happen.
I know you was doing.
Right.
Learn things like that, man. So preparation, confidence in yourself, and learning certain techniques that you feel that can help ground you into the moment by observing and looking around.
Yeah. And you all applying these things, the sauce that Ike is giving you, you will see yourself grow. Like Ike, I mean, just from you going from Get Shorty to where you at now, it's just, man, just watch you grow. Constantly watch you growing, constantly getting better and better and better, man, as an actor on screen. So it's like, man, the same rules apply. So I really hope y'all tuning in, especially y'all young players. Our parents, this information you can pass on to your young players, your kids. Sure. Definitely be taking note, man. I can give you some serious sauce tonight. So I hope somebody's taking notes. Seriously.
I know they are. I got Jermaine saying facts on everything that you're bringing, Ike. And then we got Milton Proctor trying to
14 on here. Oh,
trying to bring some drama. He's trying to bring some drama in the locker room.
He's banned.
He said, if you had the choice in 1996 to pick your college, are you rocking with K-State Wildcats or the Kansas Rock Chalk Jayhawks?
Oh, that's cold, 14. That's cold, dog. You banned off this show, man.
Hey, man, I got a lot of love for both. I got a lot of love for both, man. But K-State showed me a lot of love when I visited. So
I can understand.
I had to go to K-State, man. And I'm Long Island Ice in Manhattan.
There might be some backstories there. So Milton came in and asked the question. So no, man, we appreciate you big time and continued blessings, brother. To be able to transition, like you said, most of us don't know what we're going to do next. And to come back with the left hook, the right hook, and knock it out the park, man, kudos to you and much continued success for sure.
I appreciate that, man. And I thank y'all, man. Thank you for this platform. And I think y'all please keep doing what y'all doing, man. It's helping people, and the conversation is what it needs to be, because that's what builds understanding. Having a conversation helps people understand, and that's what's important, so we can move better in this world and understanding one another. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing, and thank y'all for having me and taking the time to have me on the show. Shout out to all the fans too.
For sure, man. Give the fam my best, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, indeed. So hey, you guys got it right there from this gentleman. He's doing big things in Hollywood right now, but he's got that football background, and he laid it out to you. It's not always going to be sweet, but you got to keep on working and perfect your craft, and you're going to be just right in those moments. those key moments. So, all right, have a good one, brother. Happy holidays.
All right, man. Happy holidays, y'all, man.
Definitely.
All right, man. So, hey, that was a big one. And as always, you know, trying to bring it, and that's your boy from back in the Lou. Man. And yeah, man, it's good to see him doing well.
Definitely. Like I said, man, he's got a lot of great things ahead of him. You know, and this show does as well. You know, man, we full throttle again, 2023. We got some stuff planned for y'all. We keep it up under wraps, but it's definitely gonna be, especially those of you all that's been rocking with us from day one, from early on with this show. Much appreciated, but man, we got some things cooking for next year. Definitely.
We coming, like Dion said. We coming. Now, you know, it was also great, man, because it's like you can have another, you know, big career, because a lot of cats just think, you know, they think that was the biggest thing in their life, playing at Notre Dame or playing for the Colts or something, and that's it, you know. And it's hard for him to get excited, like he said, to get excited about something, and for him to find that, you know, and then take it to the next level, man. I know you guys are proud. So that was a big one to have Ike on. Like Q said, we coming to you hot and heavy in 2023. We got some great guests lined up. We're going to bring the whole entire football industry to you guys so that you guys are next level, and we're going to build this community right. So do not forget to hit the like button.
Hit that button.
You know, it don't cost you no money to subscribe. So, you know, we're bringing this to you free, this love, this education, this community, and please support us so that YouTube recognizes that this is something special and pumps us out through the algorithms, through the Ethernet, to as many football players, parents, coaches, fans as possible.
Anybody you know. Yes, if your fingers broke, use your knuckles. Hit the button.
Hit the button. There you go. And hey, this is the holiday season, so y'all be safe. You guys be present with the family. Watch some football. Eat some good food. If you're still playing, what do they got to do if they still playing, Q?
You better make plays. It's the holidays.
Better make plays for the holidays. All right, y'all. We love you. We'll see you next Thursday. Last show of the year. I think so. I don't know. I might have spoke too early.
Maybe.
On that. But it's one of the last shows of the year. So we better see y'all there. All right. See y'all at the top. Have a good one.